Very good morning to all our dear listeners and viewers out there. Welcome to ACFIM Talks this Friday, the 23rd of April, 2021. The year is flying by. Thank you for joining us today as we discuss yet another topic, interrogating low numbers of women contesting on direct seats. Before I introduce the guests, and also before I introduce myself, I'm encouraging each one of you out there to log in, to hit and like our YouTube page, our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Twitter at ACFIMUG. I also encourage you to join us live on Facebook, ACFIM. You are also encouraged to get on our website if you need any additional information. So grab yourself a cup of tea and let's get into the discussion. My name is Felix Kafuma, who is your host today. Last week I couldn't make it, but you were in very capable hands of one of my colleagues who did moderate. But this time I'm available. And in the studio, I'm honored to have two distinguished guests. I'll start with Honorable Lamwaka Margaret. She is the current Kitgum District Woman Representative, but also she's the MP-elect for Chua East constituency in Kitgum District. She is an educationist. She has been a teacher for over 26 years, and she has a master's degree in education and planning. You are most welcome, Honorable.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Felix and viewers. My name is, as Felix has said, my name is Lamwaka Margaret. I'm the woman member of Parliament for Kitgum District and MP-elect for Chua East.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you. My other guest, if she's not the youngest, she's among the youngest contestants for the 2021 parliamentary race. Nantongo Bashira, she stood and contested for the Busiro North constituency as a direct seat. She is currently the student, the guild president at Islamic University, Uganda Female Campus. She has also joined us, and it will be good to have the perspective of a young person. It was her first time to participate in politics at a national level. You are most welcome, Bashira.
Thank you very much, Felix. As he has said, my name is Nantongo Bashira. The current guild president, Islamic University in Uganda Females Campus. And I also stood on a direct seat as a member of parliament, Busiro North, where I contested with 5 big men. And I was the only female in the race.
I'm the youngest.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yes. Okay, and let's get the cut started, or let's get it rolling. And I'll start with Bashira. Before we came live, we were briefly sharing backstage, a discussion that I would want to continue for the viewers out there, because let me even share the statistics. In the just concluded 2021 elections, we had 638 contestants eyeing or vying for the woman MP position, out of which 157 won from 146 districts and 11 cities, meaning that you have more women preferring to contest on the affirmative seat. In the same race, we had only 134 contesting for the direct seat, out of which 21 won. That clearly shows you how the race is tighter here. And that brings me to my question. Why did you choose to take the harder route of contesting for a direct seat. Yet there was an easier option of contesting for the woman MP seat.
Thank you very much, Mr. Felix. As we are discussing before we came live, I am a leader in making. I've got a chance of interacting with various people, so this has built my leadership skills, my tactics, in a way that I can look at someone and judge. And I'm like, no, now this person can't do anything. So I made my own research, and I got to know the people who were eyeing the same seat I was going to contest for. So I made a comparison. These people couldn't talk like me. I'm young, fine. Someone could look at my age and is like, you're young. They can't communicate like me. They can't have a microphone and use it perfectly like I can do. One. And then the other thing is, we most of the times we don't look at nurturing leaders. But what we need to know is like a leader has to be groomed from the grassroots. You just can't come as a businessman now. Right now in Uganda things are really different. People are just on the streets walking, and someone is like, you know what? People now know you. Why don't you go and be a member of parliament somewhere? So this is not good. So according to my own research and statistics, the five gentlemen who were eyeing the same seat were never qualified and have never actually had any leadership office to attend to. So I used this opportunity.
Including the incumbent?
Yes, please. That was his first time to be there. I hear they actually attended a certain school with the big man's son, so they had to do that. But then, as a person, I prefer someone to be built from the grassroots, because you do this thing out of passion. Because right now, the leadership I'm dealing in is not commercial. I'm not earning anything. I'm doing it out of passion. I'm doing it because I love what I'm doing. So I wanted to bring that perspective. And the other issue is we have many other young people out there who can sit where I'm sitting, apparently, or who can go into such offices, but then these people fear. So I had to be that motivation. So whenever someone will look at me, will be like, hey, so you're going, that means we can also. So I wanted to bring that inspiration to the young ladies out there. And also we have that unfair representation. That act of assigning ladies on the direct seats, fine, it's good, but then it limits these ladies. These ladies think they were only meant for these district seats, the woman MP seats. Yet, if we are to look at a district like Wakiso, it has 8 constituencies. These 8 constituencies have only one woman representative. That this woman, it's supposed to be automatic. It's a woman. If it's a woman, even if there are 5 in the race, still to be a woman to make it. But then these other 8 constituencies are men. So how will service delivery reach the grassroots of these people? We have to know that this woman up here needs to coordinate with these people on the constituency level, so that this person transfers the service delivery. So if at all these 8 people are all men, then trust me, the ideology is really different. And this is a huge problem, actually. It really affects service delivery, because one person can't target the entire district. So that inspired me, actually, because I wanted to help this woman who is going to sit on the woman MP seat, to ease the connection, to ease that channel in which services are supposed to reach on the normal citizen of the country. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. I will have a follow-up question later on, whether when you contested, you chose to go for a direct seat, you were 100% convinced you were going to win in a male-dominated race. But I'll come to that. Honorable, let me come to you. You represent a crossover from a woman MP to a direct elected constituency. First of all, help someone out there to understand, why would you leave the easier path? Because I think for me, a layman's perspective, I would say, okay, it's easier to defend the flag of woman MP than move into charted waters that I don't know, or a territory that I would consider to be male-dominated. So, what motivated you to cross over from what is perceived to be an easier race to a more harder race? And part B of that question is, what is the difference? What is the difference between, in terms of experience, contesting as a woman MP and also contesting as a direct member of
Thank you very much, Felix. I am the present woman member of Parliament for Kitgum District. Yes, I have been in the affirmative action. I even contested in primary. I'm NRM flag bearer for 2016 to 21. When I went again to contest in these last elections for the flag, I lost it to one of the ladies. But what happened was that immediately I lost, I made up my mind that, okay, I'm going to stay. I will stay and maybe I will continue doing my other things. You know, as I've said, I'm a teacher by profession, and I actually don't want a situation where people pull ropes and bring in a lot of disintegration. So when I didn't make it, I said, no, I'm going to stay and I'll do other things. I came back to do my parliamentary work. I was called by the elders from my constituency, from my district, I would say. They called me and I had to listen to them because they were also the same people who called me when I was a teacher. They called me to come and stand for them. So I had to go. When they called me, I thought they were just going to tell me something about what has happened. We are sorry, we want you to do this. But later what transpired was that they told me they want me back. I must have to come back and contest as a direct member of parliament. Within, this is the place where I am married. They told me, no, we want you to come because this was the position where the present Minister of State Foreign Affairs, Honorable Andrew Riemukelo, is. Actually, he lost in primary and he also said, no, I'm not coming back. So my people said, now, since Riem is also not coming back, we feel we cannot lose you. You must have to come. And can you imagine they did some miraculous act? They even contributed money because I told them, you know, I right now don't have money. And now what do we do? Because with that, they said, no, we have the money here. Go and do what? Go and pay your nomination fee. So I had to make up my quick decision because, you know, once you're a leader, you should have to take risk and make a quick decisions that the people whom you are leading would be following, because you cannot really make a decision when you see that the people who are following you are always opposing. But since they were the one who proposed to me, I also came in, I said, fine, let me take it. Two, I was contesting. Actually, it is a very good coincidence, I would say. I also contested with 5 men. One is a lawyer and advocate. One is a retired district education officer. One, the flag bearer, is an accountant. Then another accountant. Then a teacher stroke a radio presenter. So when I looked at these people, really, I said, no, with all what I've been doing and the presentation I've been making in Parliament, I think, let me go. Even when I went, I knew I was going to win, because the way I went and as they had, I have gone for the constituency, all of them became paralyzed. Though they gang against me wherever they go to talk to the people, or maybe when they go for their campaign, they will talk ill about me. But I close my ears. As they say, when you want to be a very, very, very good actor, close your ears, close your eyes. Even if you have stepped on somebody's toe, you walk like a blind person. The person is the one to remove the legs. So I had to quickly do that. When I went, in fact, it was marvelous. The experience I went through was good. I had it good. And here I am. So the decision which my people made, if I was also not to take, I would not take it, because I had been a leader from school. Even when I retired as a head teacher. I'd been gradually progressing. I'd been progressing, ascending. And in fact, to me, sometimes I say, the sky is the limit. So if somebody sees that there is some talent in you, it is actually our people around us who tell us what to do, even if you have it in you. There are other people who have tried more than 10 times to contest and have not gone through, simply because they may be having some barrier that they don't see. But for me, when they called me when I was a teacher, I even didn't fail. When I was a teacher, I came and went through. And I succeeded because I retired in 2015. And 2016, I was a member of parliament for Kitgum district. So that is the reason as to why I came. And because my colleague did not go back, Riem Henry, I said, okay, let me go. And I saw I was the right substitute there. That was what happened.
Thank you so much. Quite interesting stories out there. Let me first come to Bashira here on this one. Okay, from your experiences, help me paint a picture. If you are to compete with the men on direct seats, what does it take? What are those things you must overcome to enter this race and compete?
One of the things you have to overcome is rejection, because definitely this is a seat that many, I would say 95% of Ugandans think those seats are for men. So you have to be able to overcome that. You don't need to fear rejection, because definitely whenever you could go somewhere, someone can be like, no, you're not fit for that, because they could tell me, they could say that, why don't you go on a woman's seat? Why actually didn't you go on that seat? Why are you coming on the seat for men? So you have to overcome that fear of being rejected. Then secondly, negativity. There are people out there with negative thoughts. And whenever this person could see you, before you actually utter out a word, this person laughs off. Before you even say something, this person laughs. So this person is just like, now this one is wasting time. Do you think you can make it? So negativity is another thing. And the other thing is you must be resilient. Resilience means when you're pushed, you bounce back. So I'm this kind of a person that when I'm put down, I fall fine, but then I bounce back. I'm actually resilient. So those are the three issues I was actually moving forward with. Because, but actually before the three, we're putting the three issues on board, God, believe in God. When you believe in God, God is the one who, because it's God who gives you that thought that you can go on this one, because you just can't wake up one day and do as you think. We are creatures of God. So God first, and then these other three issues were very, very important to my standing.
Okay, thank you. Honorable, let me come to you. Having contested as the woman MP and an incumbent, now you cross over to contest as for a direct seat. What were the differences in this case? How different were the challenges that you faced having contested as a woman MP, now contesting as a direct MP?
Mine was like, okay, the biggest challenge is, as my colleague has said, Busiro said, is the negativity of the people. First of all, people who are not well informed would automatically go and begin now even provoking you when you come to talk to the people. They would set up some questions, even you sometimes even tell you off that, like for my case, they were telling me that, you have missed where to go because you are supposed to be in the shelter of the women. Now you have missed. Why have you come in this shelter? Then you bring the person to knowledge that, you know what, there is no law which says that there must be a shelter here for women and men. I was just putting it in a local way that in all our homes, we don't have toilets or shelters for women and shelters for men. As we have only one shelter. So I tell them, as a woman, I am the one who is supposed even to take water. So what happens? As I take water for the man to go and bathe, I am the first user of the shelter. So there is no way you can say, you have crossed over. But basically what happens is the men tends to gang. The men we contest with tend to gang, and wherever they go for their campaign, they will first begin with the topic of, you see this woman here who does not respect men, who goes even into the room where men are sleeping, who does this, using even some obscene language. So what happened, as I said, is as you come out to represent people, you must have to be bold, and you must have to be quick in responding to all this and make sure that you crush them all. Because like with examples, we have so many women who have contested, and some of them are even in parliament. So this one here, I would even give like examples in the lower council, like LC1s, LC3, that we have LC1s, and in some other places you get that the LC1 is a female. Then I said, what is the difference? The same thing where your LC1 is representing you here is the same representation I'll go and represent in parliament. So we must not really accept. So that one also made me gain a lot, because at the end of the day, the majority of the people, even the men, started saying, no, this is the best representation. In many cases, they were saying, how do you send two women? Because in a constituency or in a district, we have, like for Kitgum district, we have 3 constituencies. Now, this one say, why do you want to take only women for the constituency and for the district? But the rest would say, the way women work is so different from the way men work. First of all, women are mothers. And when we went into this, I've been getting these challenges here, I had to laugh them off. I didn't want to concentrate on them so much, because I had a purpose. I concentrated on my manifesto than coming to answer issues on the gender, the what, or even saying, she failed. If a fellow woman has made her to fail in primary, how do you think she can lead now? She's even a failure. She's just running anyhow. So I told the people that, no, for me, I am here for you. I have my agenda, and these are my agendas. This is business of failures and what have you, I've let you. So that is what I still say, that when are contesting with men, they tend to they tend to lower us, they tend to use obscene language, and the language at the end of the day, all this, what they do to women is actually a payback. The voters will at the end of the day see the reality, because they miss to give in their manifesto. They take the women who are standing with them as their manifesto and begin talking many things. So those are the things that I saw.
Other things that, okay. Bashira, this is why I bring you in. You contested on FDC tickets, you didn't win, unfortunately, but there's 2026. Right, it's not very far, so you have to start now. But my question is, Honorable talks about a number of things that border on society and norms, culture, the patriarchy. You contested in Busiro North, which is relatively, I would consider it to be an urban constituency, compared to, for example, to Chua constituency, where Honorable contested. how deep-rooted are these social norms when it comes to contesting, and how deep-rooted are they, the perceptions people have, the sexualization of candidates, but also comment on this whole thing that women are the enemies of fellow women, because there's been that narrative that for some reason women are the ones who actually bring down women who are contesting on such seats. What's the experience?
It's definitely right, as you mentioned it, because I, for one, I faced quite a number of ladies out there, beautiful ladies and responsible ladies who thought that I was not, or not only me, who think that a woman is not eligible to go in for the direct seat. I, for one, faced challenges of women in a way that whenever you could actually go to them seeking for votes, these women, you could, as a pass, so that you make them really understand this, you could say, I've come on a seat where there is this gentleman, so you mention a name, so it's like you're also campaigning for the what? For the gentleman. Because when you speak on yourself, or like for yourself, these people think you're going in for a what? A woman's seat. So when you say I'm coming in, so they're like, hey, even women stand on men, but why didn't you go in for this? Oh, for us, we can't leave this gentleman. This gentleman has given us money, and how will you actually manage? This man has a lot of money. So that's negativity, and the fact that they could advise you in such a manner of pulling you down, that maybe you've gone too far, you need to relax. But then at the end of the day, you could find another category of women ganging against you. I, for one, faced many. You come, but before you even utter something, me, I'm for this man. So this lady mentions the name. How can I even support a woman? They gave us the woman MPC. Why didn't you go there? The other thing is you're too young. You can't compete with. So that ideology is really, really true. And as I said, if you're willing to overcome all this, you have to be resilient. Because if you're not, trust me, you couldn't even move half of this election. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Before we go to the break, let me first come to Honorable here. Honorable, I understand very well that issues to do with culture, patriarchy, I think they're more deep rooted and seated in rural constituencies. I don't know, I think Chua is a rural constituency. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Yes, so how did you navigate these perceptions, these attitudes fellow women have towards women, but also men have towards women?
How I handled it, as I said it earlier, is that when we have the culture where people think that what men do, women should not do. There is that inferiority complex where they say women had been given affirmative action and they should go there, and you were there. Why have you come here? So the culture also says the men are the one who are supposed to be direct member of parliament. So what I did was, like for my case, I had to go down and make sure that I start with sensitizing them. I start with educating my voters that you are voting for a person who is going to sit together with men in the same house, on the same seats. They will sit side by side. It is not like, okay, I was just generalizing it, like, it is not like when you go to a mosque where you get gentlemen are sitting in front there, then women are sitting because of the denomination, how they do the respect, how they respect in the adoration venue. So in parliament, you sit with men on the same row, you get up and speak for your people. So this business of people saying this one is no and what have you, no. It is not that when a woman goes to parliament, will only be discussing issues of women. We go to represent all of you. Like when I was a woman member of parliament, I would even go down to them and tell them, when I'm a woman member of parliament, I'm always representing the youth, the children, the disabled, everybody. So this is the same. What you should have to look at is the brain. Think of the brain. Is this brain going to represent us? Can this person articulate on the floor of parliament, represent us? 2, is this person bold enough to really stand for us? So when I came to lower myself to tell them exactly what makes a member of parliament, or what makes the community strong, is to send a trustworthy representative and somebody who is kind, who think for the people, who work for the people, and who had been working for the people. So when I told them that, at least that is when they started saying, aha, so you have won our interest. For us, we thought this one was for men. And also I must have to appreciate my predecessor, Honorable Minister Oriem Henry Okello. Oriem Henry Okello also came in and told the people, you know what? If you think this is a seat of men, then we only go and sew trousers for this lady, because for you are thinking that it is only the trousers which should go and be represented there. But you see what this lady had been doing to you when she was a woman member of parliament, and how much is she going to do when she will be a direct member of parliament. So there is that culture, there is that group of people, you know. It is true that women are also, I don't know how they looked at it. You get that when a woman is supposed to represent, there are other women who gang to destroy. They could even go and talk a lot of nonsense about you. My experience, I had some 2-3 ladies who would move from village to village, from parish to parish, from all where their candidate would go. The first thing, their work is to go and abuse me. Their work is to go and belittle me. Their work is to go and tell a lot of lies about me. But it was good that my people knew who I am. I am married there. I have stayed there for more than 30 years. They know for more than 20 years. They know who I am. So some of them will say, no, that is not Margaret. That is not honorable. We know. For them, they call me Lapone. That is not Madame. We know who she is. So that culture is there, which I still say we should really insist and continue sensitizing. We should really sensitize the community, the women, the men, because even those ones who are having disabilities, somewhere when they come to contest direct, instead they will use their disability to the campaign then. The youth, those ones who would come, they would begin saying, hey, you see this one here, does he have a husband? This one here, the other time did this. So those are the kind of things that we have in our society. They are there, but you should be bold to make sure that you crush them all.
Thank you so much. We are taking a break, but when we come back, we will now look at the affirmative action, why it has failed. But I'll also have a question for you, Margaret. From your experiences, which of the two was more expensive, contesting as a woman MP or contesting on a direct seat? Where did you spend much more money? Yeah, so let's take a break and then we'll be back in the space of 45 to 1 minute.
The monster of money politics is eating up Uganda's democracy. When you take money from a candidate, it means you are feeding the monster. Then you become a part of the problem. When a candidate who overspends on campaigns is elected, he or she will not represent voters but himself. He or she will engage in corruption to recover campaign money. Social services will not be delivered and the voter will suffer more. Voter, let's be wise. Give democracy a chance. Do not sell your vote. Focus on the issue.
Welcome back from the break. We are discussing why do we have low numbers of women contesting on direct seat. And with me in the studios, if you're just joining us, I have two distinguished ladies, Honorable Lamwaka Margaret, who is the current Kitgum District Woman MP, but also she's the MP-elect for Chua East constituency in Kitgum. I also have Nantongo Bashira. She's a former contestant for the constituency of Busiro North, and she's also the current, she's the incumbent guild president for Islamic University Uganda, the female campus. And before we broke off, we were looking at why is it that women fight each other when it comes to contesting on direct seat. So I want to first, I had promised to ask Honorable a very interesting question. Having contested as a woman MP and now contesting as a direct, for a direct seat, where did you spend, where is it more expensive to contest? Because my understanding is when you're a woman MP, you are basically campaigning in the entire district. When you are a constituency MP, you are basically campaigning in a constituency. But probably from your experience, it could be different when it comes to spending. Where did you find it more expensive in terms of spending during campaigns, comparing the two situations?
Yes, thank you very much, Felix. As I contested for Women Member of Parliament, I spent a lot of money. First, basically, is because the district is quite wide, and you are to go and meet all the voters, and all voters are the same. So when you contest as a woman member of parliament, you spend a lot. You spend a lot of money because the place is quite big. Contesting as a direct member of parliament is not almost, it is not all that quite expensive, but it becomes so expensive. Like for my case, it became so expensive because I was going back to the place where I might have even talked to the people, and the people have promised me that they were going to vote for me. Then you get these colleagues, these men I'm contesting with, going again and trying to talk to the people, try even to give them a lot of gifts and what have you. So when you hear, or when maybe your agent tells you, you know what, this past so and so came here and this was what he said, you still need to come back, because you might have not cleared of all, you might have not said all what you're supposed to say, so you still go back again, and it all still costs a lot of money. It takes a lot of money. And what I've also seen is, like especially in NRM, a state where you first compete on primary, you spend a lot of money, you go for national elections, you again spend a lot of money. It is quite expensive, though in national elections they give money, but the money that they give to you, the flag bearers, are not even enough, though to a certain extent, to me, I would say it's not enough, because that money, if you don't have any other money, cannot. So basically, being a woman MP, you spend a lot of money. And also, we compete, at the end of the day, when you come to parliament, we get the same salary. We get the same salary with the direct MPs.
Let me come. I'll come back to you on the figures because if I wanted to contest, how much should I be able to fundraise and raise and come and try it out in 2026? But let me come to you, Honorable Bashira. There is a comment here that from Brooke Williams that winning an election is very expensive because voters no longer vote issues. They vote who buys alcohol and who gives some money from 1K to 20K. Wow, the voter inducement aspect. Bashira, what was the experience with voters when they were interfacing with you? Because and let me even pick this from what Brooke Williams is saying, that I've been able to observe elections at some point, and I've seen the behavior and expectations voters have towards candidates. And I know this is one of the things that kind of like locks out women participating in elections. It's how commercialized and expensive contesting has become, and partly why you must bribe, you must induce, you must appease voters and meet their expectations. Being a young contestant, coming from a party that was FDC, but also contesting in a race where it looks like there was a new wave already shaping up things. How did this influence your spending, and what was your biggest challenge when it came to spending during your campaigns?
Yeah, you're very right. Thank you very much for that question. As the gentleman just commented down there, it's right. And people out there, whenever you could go seeking for votes, they had a slogan in these areas, meaning where they could say "Nyenye miembe," meaning shake that tree. We need those mangoes down. So they meant they wanted that money, or they could say how have you left us? So those were those common slogans these people used. But at some extent, we could spend, I personally, I could spend on issues that I saw had much concern. Buying alcohol for someone is not bad, but then it's not helping this person. And as a leader, I'm groomed to help these people. Not only as my religion that it limits me to buying such things, but then when you buy alcohol for someone, this person is centered to that. This person won't develop. You'll find this person after 5 years, the same person demanding for alcohol. As a leader, is that really helping? And this is what 89% of our leaders, actually, if not 90 or more, these leaders go in those areas, they buy crates and sachets of wine. That means these people are more interested in what they are going in for. They are not interested in helping their people succeed. I, for one, I'm straight. I could look for votes, but I tell these people, you know what? I'm not here because I want to gain anything. I'm here to help you. And if they don't take it that I'm here to help them, then I could tell them you're suffering for the next 5 years. I'm not looking for what to put on. I dress up, I eat. So I'm not this kind of a person who could load down to a voter that thinking this person, I'm like in need of this person's assistance to go to push me up. I know my abilities. So I'm here as a leader to lead them, to guide them through the right path. So that issue of buying wine or something, it was really true, but me, I was really open. I could tell them the issue of my religion, and then I could tell them that wine is taking you nowhere. So definitely that wasn't, it wasn't an issue because I was really point blank on it. I was really open on it. Apart from some issues that you could see.
Does that explain why you lost? Or the other factors?
Not really. That can't be a reason. Because I know as a person, if you're always on the right track, trust me, definitely one time you'll make it. I guess it wasn't the right time for me. It wasn't a factor.
Okay. I want you to take a shot at this question because I want to start with you before I can come to Honorable. One of the arguments for the affirmative action was to empower women graduate from the affirmative action seat. The assumption was that if you go on the affirmative seat, you have, in the 5 years, you've been able to raise enough muscle in terms of resources, in terms of what it takes to now take a shot at the direct seat. And I think Honorable Lamwaka has demonstrated that it's actually possible to move from the affirmative seat to direct seat. But why is it that, because I was looking at the list of those who are contesting on the affirmative seat, many of them were incumbents. Some of them have been there for the last 15 years. Why have we failed to actualize what the proponents of the affirmative action envisioned of empowering a woman to be competitive and strong enough to compete with in the field where men are, and allow others to come and fill up the space of affirmative action? Why are we failing on that? Why is it that even after these interventions that are deliberate, we still have these low numbers of women on direct seats and have more numbers on women on the affirmative seats?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Felix. Then here it goes back to the issue of nurturing leaders. And who are the people supposed to nurture these leaders? It is those honorable ladies who are currently in those affirmative seats. They need to groom people. And here, right now, we are in a government where we see even the big man is serving for more than actually 30 years. So definitely, these people are now also adopting that. No one wants to leave the seat because they think now my people back there already know me. So trying to survive in a constituency or in another office, these people, it will be hard for me because, as Honorable Margaret just mentioned, it was a little hectic for her. She had to go back as if she had never been to Parliament. It's another route. So they could be fearing to go for those seats. And yes, the fear of leaving seats. You know, the Waganda have been saying that Entebbe Woma, meaning that that seat where you seated, no one wants to leave it. Definitely, it's right, because naturally humans, we are selfish, but then at the time we need to control that selfishness. So it is now the government, basically the ladies, the honorable ladies in those affirmative seats, supposed to nurture the people down here who are supposed to sit in those seats. And the nurturing can also not be centered actually only on the affirmative seats. Let them also nurture them for these direct seats, because it only takes courage for a young lady to stand on or in an office in our government, apparently. Yes, I think it's supposed to be them to do this. So that's the only reason, apparently, why we are still failing. We need more of the nurturing of the. They are there. I actually interface with most of them. They be like, but where did you get the guts? And here I am. I'm a nobody. How can I nurture someone? Yet I'm also not sure of my way through. So we need those people who have so far made it to come back here to nurture. They're supposed to be the ones to make the women nation more powerful and courageous. Yes, it goes back to them.
Thank you. She raises an issue of nurturing. Honorable, you've defied the order. You are among the few of those who have fulfilled the objectives of the affirmative action. Move from the affirmative action to a direct seat. Why is it failing? After this so many years, we have the same MPs fighting tooth and nail to defend those seats they acquired on affirmative.
One thing which I think is also making these women members of parliament or direct or women members of parliament stick to their position is one. I think also they are like trying to avoid intrigues, because one may say, why should I go to contest as a direct member of parliament when I'd worked with this man for all these 5 years, if your working relationship had been good? So the main thing which I think many of the women, even me, like even me, if Honorable Oriem was coming back to contest as independent, I was not going to contest with him, because when you had been working hand in hand with one another and really working for the people, it looks a little strange to go and do what? To go and maybe compete on this for the same position. However, I must encourage women. being the direct member of parliament is more precious than even being the woman member of parliament. Because if it is money, it is true that men have more money than women. So if we have raised, you have got on affirmative action, you have gotten the money, that can really make you pursue to be a direct member of parliament. Women should really begin doing that. And another issue which I have also seen is that down there, down at LCs, LC1s, LC3s, LC5, and their councillors, direct councillors, they are very few. Women go there just when there is a chance. Not as my sister Busiro. I don't want to know she's my daughter, because she's actually the age mate of my daughter. If really women or young ladies like Busiro could do that, it would be so perfect. I must have to give her a credit. If I had a vote for her, I would even vote for her, because this is a lady who has decided not to go and disorganize the woman who is there. She looked at women being, constituencies being very many for one woman, and 6, 8, 4 men. Why couldn't she go there so that she works hand in hand with the sister there? So the main challenge that had made many of the women members of parliament, they have the guts. I don't know why my sisters who are there, who have worked for 5 terms, 6 terms, and how many are still on that affirmative action, because for sure it will even discourage. Like when you get these people who have also overstayed in their positions as women members of parliament, the young girls or the young women also get it difficult to go and offset them. However, there are a lot of chances for the women to cross from direct member from woman member of parliament to direct seat. That is even what I was telling. By the way, as the Bible says that what you say will become true. Because I remember one time when we were trying to discuss to discuss, or even to come to a mutual understanding with my other colleague from another constituency. I told him, you see, if you will continue disorganizing me, I hear you again going and talk about me, saying what heal about me. I'm just going to pick the form in come 2021. I'll just come and contest with you. So those are the kind of things that we should have to take. But I think the women members of parliament and those ones with disability, because the youth only stand there once and they go to members of parliament, and they have made it. Most of them have made it. So I would suggest that there would be a policy that when women maybe sit in parliament for like 2 terms, they could also give way to empower other ladies, and they go so that the percentage which we wanted we could really meet.
Wow, interesting. And that recommendation now gets us into the last part of the show, the last part of the question that mainly looks at what should be done. And already you are recommending that probably we should have a policy that put limits on period the person should contest on affirmative action. I think that would be a very quite interesting thing to consider. But let me start with Bashira as we come to an end, as we wind up this discussion. In practical sense, looking at the context of Uganda's politics, because for me politics is contextual. What works in US may not necessarily work in Uganda. What are those practical steps that you propose we should consider to address these barriers that you've been discussing from experience that affect women to contest on direct seats?
Sorry, thank you very much. Obviously, my first practical stage will be nurturing, because we wouldn't love to fill in the gap, filling it with incompetent people. We don't need to just bring in, no. We need to bring in people. it should be the leaders, of course, in office, because right now, right now we are speaking about the affirmative action, but many ladies out there don't know what affirmative action is actually. So you have to bring in that knowledge, that mix up between leaders and actually the people on the grassroots, the ladies out there. So they have to be nurtured. They have to get to know the information, actually the acquired information or the acquired knowledge that they actually need to know about everything that is going on in the state actually. And the other
Just a
issue
quick
is,
one. Wait, before you give me the second issue, I want to find out, you stood under FDC. Did
yes,
FDC nurture you before you
yes,
took
yes,
the
it
flag?
did. It
Okay,
did.
proceed. Okay.
Yes, so apparently it might not be official, but let it be an individual task as a leader. Question yourself, have I nurtured someone behind me? Have I nurtured one or two people? Do I have people behind there looking forward to be like me? Because me as a person, it is okay if you don't have the woman out there than bringing in 200 or 100 ladies without substance. So nurturing and preparing them for the better is one of the practical things, and it has to be step number one. Then the other step has to be organizing various campaigns. These campaigns need to be with the motive of creating that awareness, making these ladies know that yes, these direct seats are also open to ladies like us. One can easily shoot from like me. If at all I was elected and I made it, it will be a shoot from nowhere to a direct seat, and I know people there made it. So that campaign has to be organized, and I think it has to be our leaders together with some people who are interested in this. We need to put on a campaign. Could be a social media campaign, or I don't know whether it could be more of airing it out and creating that awareness to the people, and making them know more, because people, trust me, ladies out there don't believe that direct seats are fit for. I'm from an urban area, so just question yourself, what about those rural areas? Honorable Margaret made it because it was a little easier because she was once in parliament. She obviously knew some of the tactics that a person like me didn't know. So right now, what you need to know is what of these people who don't have that thing yet? Yes, and the other issue is consequently involving them in various issues. If we are to discuss about something, let's also question the women out there. They are totally left out. That's why in my manifesto, one of my key issues was, I was really wondering what is the role of an LC chairperson, LC1. I was like, now these people just sit down. People come when they want to buy land, these people made this. But then I was like, these people can help us in some issues. Like, for example, you could see a village. Let me give an example of a village in my constituency. Let me say Chiterede. This LC chairperson has to know the number of students in that particular village who are not going to school, the number of students in that particular village who dropped out of school because of issues, the number of schools in that particular village. So this is how we are supposed to engage our different leaders in those different issues. So me, I wanted actually to involve them in my serving, because I knew I couldn't reach everywhere, but then I could reach them individually and question them. So
Okay.
another issue is we need to know that the old way of doing things doesn't seem to work anymore.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. To you, Honorable, what are the practical steps in a few minutes?
The practical steps that Uganda can take is, one is to look into the constitution. You know, a constitution which is always amended just for an interest. Just for an interest. I was one time thinking that many of our people don't know our constitution. The Constitution is there, but many of us don't know. One is because the Constitution is written in English. It's not translated in local languages. So that when the amendments on the Constitution is done, we look through, because the Constitution is supposed to be amended. We look through the Constitution and get the feelings of Ugandans before an amendment is made. What do you think here, what we could do? So it would actually basically go to where my daughter said, Busiro said, that there must be mobilization and sensitizations of the people. The people must be sensitized and mobilized on how and why should one come as a leader. Not looking at money, not looking at maybe looking at one person. So my main issue here is the Constitution should have to be looked at and amended, because this affirmative action was brought in by NRM in 1986, copied from UK, which I think John Kennedy signed on the affirmative action in 1961, something of the kind. So now, if we Ugandans have come for this, we have gone for affirmative action. Must it be like that, without even amending it? If we want to nurture, or if we want to bring people, you see, when the media comes, I know what politics is. My being in politics for these 5 years has brought in many things. If the civil society comes and begins saying, you know, you people should come for politics, many people, then the politicians, the incumbent, will come and begin saying, hey, you see, this person who had been talking like this want to come and contest with me. Can you imagine? If it can even be my daughter Busiro going to sensitize my people in Kitgum. Now, when I hear somebody has come here, I rush there and say, why has this person come to do this? So the main thing is, we should have to look into our Constitution and we do the sensitization. And as leaders, like as me, for me, I'm encouraging them. There are so many people whom have brought them to leadership in my 5 years that I've been a member of parliament. Even when I had been a teacher, when I'd been a teacher, I'd been recommending so many teachers to be promoted to deputy senior women teachers and what have you. Now that I'm in parliament, I'd also been encouraging those ones who really have the zeal to be a leader, somebody who is trustworthy and faithful. So we must really, as leaders also, as the women who are in power, as the men who are in power, we should also think of leaving the space. You know, if you want to eat everything, for us we say in the language that when you eat a lot of food, you eat everything, you will your gas will smell, will really pollute the whole place. So we need to also work and think of, like, we need to bring in people. Okay, maybe I need to say one thing just on the issue of the Constitution. As we as Parliament, we had been thinking of in the Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, they are bringing back term limits. At least if we have term limits, we shall be running our country very well. There shall be no sticking on power, and people will work when they know, after this time, I must have to set aside. However, I want to appreciate, like my former MP, former chairman, Honorable Norbert Mao, who came to Parliament for only 2 terms and told the people that after 2 terms, I want to come as LC5. Then after LC5, I'm going to sit. And this is exactly what he did. So if members of Parliament also have that okay, after this, than having it with greed that I want, and at all costs, I myself even have to die there, at least something would happen. I'm happy with the Honorable Cecilia Gwal. Yesterday, I also her tweeting that come 2026, she will not contest because she will have made 75 years. So we need to have those kind of things. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let's wait for 2026 and we see if she's true to her word. We have come to the end of the show. We've been discussing and understanding why do we have low numbers of women contesting on direct seats, and I've been with Honorable Lamwaka Margaret and Nantongo Bashira as our guests. And Felix Kafuma has been your host. Until next week, it's good week ahead. I'm wishing a very good week ahead, and I also am wishing a very good afternoon and good evening to come. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.
COVID-19 lockdown has left us poor. Money from candidates won't make you rich. Do not be desperate. Focus on issues, not money. Often money used in campaigns is dirty money. Do you know its source? Corruption, mafia, drug trafficking, human trafficking, theft from national budget, self-seeking foreigners, selfish businessmen, selfish money lenders. Don't abandon your duty. Elect quality leadership, not big spenders.